The Eldar craft worlds float in deep space and move at only sublight speeds. Their exact locations are not known by other races, and the Eldar themselves do not consider their physical positions to be of much importance. Eldar spacecraft can travel between the different craft worlds by means of a system of what may be imagined as tunnels or bridges through warp space. These tunnels form a network which links the craft worlds and some of the Exodite worlds together, and which supposedly extends to many other worlds throughout the galaxy. The gateways by which these tunnels are entered are not readily visible, except for the main spatial gateway on every craft world. This takes the form of a swirling sphere of light and darkness held in stasis immediately astern the craft world. It is by means of this network that the Eldar travel throughout the galaxy. The largest and most important tunnels are big enough to carry spacecraft, though most tunnels are much smaller and lead from one craft world to another, or directly to a planet's surface. Some of them are only big enough to allow Eldar or very small vehicles to pass. Every craft world contains some chambers which open directly onto these tunnels. Some lead to places long since abandoned or destroyed, or else inhabited by the demons of the warp. These doors are sealed with runes of power, lest unknown horrors gain access to the craft world, or some unwary traveller unwittingly opens a doorway and is sucked into warp space. The tunnel network is known as the Webway, although the title is in some ways misleading. If a map of the network were superimposed over the galaxy, it wouldn't represent a spider's web, with the pattern radiating from a single nodal point. Instead, the map would resemble an almost random pattern, with many separate nodal points centered upon the largest craft worlds. Were an observer to see such a map, he would immediately see that craft worlds are not always directly connected to each other. So a traveller must often trace a route through several different craft worlds or planets in order to reach his destination. Not all routes are sufficiently large to give access to spacecraft, so whilst individuals might be able to travel directly to a specific craft world or planet, a spacecraft might have to take a different route entirely, or be unable to reach that place at all. Breaks and fluctuating accessibility would make the map far from certain, whilst the loss of worlds in ages past would create dangerous dead ends. In fact, no such map exists, or at least not in the form described. The exact shape and form of the Webway is not fully understood by the Eldar, except perhaps by the strange wanderers known as Harlequins. Knowledge of the myriad secret ways is considered of such importance that the Eldar are in no hurry to share its secrets with humans. Each craft world's place in the Webway is known only to its seers. It is rumoured that a map was made many thousands of years ago, which is now kept in the Black Library. Although it is now no longer entirely accurate, it shows many secret ways which have since been lost or forgotten. If this is so, then the Guardians of the Black Library have chosen to keep their secrets, and one can only imagine that they have good reason to do so. When the Eldar go to war, they travel through the tunnels of the Webway. Such journeys are relatively fast, enabling space fleets to move easily between the network's major gateways. This enables the Eldar to move swiftly to places directly connected by the Webway, but makes it extremely difficult for them to reach worlds which have no gate into the network. Eldar spacecraft can travel through the warp using their warp drives, although this is a slow and dangerous process for them. Unlike humans, the Eldar have no navigators who can steer through warp space. Furthermore, the demons of the warp are attracted far more strongly to vibrant Eldar spirits than to the dull, shadowy minds of men. As a result of these factors, the Eldar travel infrequently to places that lie more than a few light years from their webway exits.